Hey, today we're going to show you how to fix the Samsung dryer. As you can see, this is an all electric dryer here. So when it first started, you power it up, you hit start. You hear this noise right behind, it's kind of loud. So we're actually replacing the motor, or as you can see, it runs a little bit. Now the motor just died on you. So you can hit start, nothing will happen here. You turn it off. Power back up again, you hit start, and now you won't even able to start this. So we're gonna have to replace out the motor. But most importantly, first thing you do, you want to go up there and we're gonna disconnect the 240 volt plug that plugs into this guy. Make sure this thing is not plugged in anyhow, so you don't get electrocuted. Then second, you gotta go to the front here. You got to take out the two screws that hold the front panel in place. The Phillips screw. And then you close the door. I'm going to bring you guys to the back. Now you want to get to the back of the dryer. And as you can see, there's two screws that hold this in place. So you want to remove that two screw here in the back of the dryer. So once you did remove that two screw now, next step is to remove the top cover by sliding it backward and lift the cover right out of there. So at this stage now, there are these tabs here. So again, my favorite flathead screwdriver. You want to stick it in here a little bit, and you want to pry it up a little bit. And remember, it's going to sound like something is broken though when you're doing this. So you want to make sure you do tell the customer if they're watching you that it's going to sound like some plastic is broken sometime. And once this is removed, there's one particular harness here that you can disconnect. And that's how you get rid of the control panel. At this point in time, now after you remove the control panel, there's four screws that holds the front panel together. You want to go ahead and remove those. At this time, now as you can see, I put on my safety glove because you're going to be working on something that will really sharp on the inside, like razor blade. So after you remove that four screw now, what you want to do is you want to hold here and lift a little bit off this panel. If not, you want to go in here and then grab and lift up a little bit. Once you get it open, there's a little door switch over here. I'm not sure if you can see it. I'm going to bring that closer here. So there's a wire harness to the door switch. You just disconnect and then you just lift this door panel right out of the way. Then you set them to the side now. So now we're going to go ahead and disassemble this whole dryer here. So there's one sensor harness here for the moisture sensor. And then you're going to take out 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then the 10 screws. Also set the 10 screw aside by removing this front cover here, and you gotta be careful. There's some wire hooking into it, so you gotta loosen them up. There's these like a plastic tab that lock them in place. These are your wire harness. You set them on the side, and then you disconnect this, take this out, and disconnect the light. Pull this out, leave this wire on the side as well. And what you want to do is lift and pull. So now this whole entire cover comes out. Again, also set them down by the side. And And then you're going to get your hand underneath there, reach for the belt and the motor pulley. And then take out the belt down there. And move the belt out the way and lift the drum out. And again, you also want to set that to the side. And let's go ahead and talk about some of these components that you got down here. These are the 4 rotor that the drum glides on. And this also has a steam feature, so it has a water valve in there. Due to that, this is a electric heater. That is your heating element right over here. And then those are the 2 thermal cutoff. And this is your whole motor assembly here. That's the wire harness to power the motor. And then this is the pulley switch for your pulley. And then over here, there's 2 thermistors. One is a thermal cutoff, and this one is a cycling thermostat. So you're gonna have to disconnect this wire here. That's the thermal cutoff, and then this one is the cycling thermostat. Then you're gonna have to disconnect the wire off the main motor, and underneath here, there's a pulley switch. This one is quite hard to yank them, so you should have to do that with 2 hands. So let me set down the camera. I'm gonna, oops, leave it like this, and we're gonna try to pull this out. I don't know why they have to make that so tight though, every single time. Okay, now they got them disconnected. And then there's about 4 screws or 3 screws that holds the motor in place. And this will be 1. And this will be 2. And then the third one. Some of them has an additional one here, but this one only have 4. 3, I mean. So we got that by removing. And I'm going to show you how we're going to take out the motor. Angle it nicely. Okay. Take out the motor is you slide it, you pull this out, you slide it out, and lift right out of it. So at this time now, you want to take a little time to vacuum out this portion. And this is the old motor. I'm going to go ahead and pull out a new motor. I'm going to install it. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the new motor and then the old motor. What's the difference? The failure for that incident here is actually inside this mechanism. There are those relay that links to the start winding and then the run winding. So the contact, most likely if I open this up, will be burned out on the inside. And also this thing is making a lot of noise because this thing will be called a pulley. Samsung has made an improvement pulley assembly called a bracket assembly. Or the new one will look like this now, that has a little ball bearing joint in it that it will spins very freely. And again, just want to make sure you guys are aware, this is the cycling thermostat. That's what controls the thermistor, which is telling when to cycle on and off on the heating element. And if it gets too hot, this is a thermal cutoff. So when it gets too hot, this will kick in and you will not be able to run the unit at all. So a while back, they used to have a problem with this cycling, this thermal cutoff. So with these new motors, they have all the new stuff that they need that will address this problem. So I'm going to go ahead and install this new motor back into the dryer, and then we're going to run it and you're going to see the problem disappear. And then also the sound is going to sound 10 times better than before. Like I say, be professional and courtesy. If you can at this stage, help the customer vacuum out the dryer. And you know, this is the best time to do it. It cleans it out so they can have a new fresh start again. So again, like I say, on this motor here, there is these little tab that has to go back in. So you see these tab has to go down into these screws. So we're gonna have to show you how to install them. So once they align, you will go ahead and put back the screw now that locked them in place. They're like right over here. And this is another one right over here. And then you can go ahead and hook up the harness. And then you gotta hook up the thermistor, this thermal cutoff, now the thermistor. And again, I have one more screw that I need to put back on the other side, which is right over here. So depending on the model, you will have an additional screw here on some of it. And this is the pulley screw that the switches. You have to put this back, otherwise your motor will not start, your unit will not run. So unfortunately my piece here come broken, so I have to reuse this piece from the old one. So after I get that piece from the old one, while you have everything out, you also want to check these rotor, make sure they're spinning freely, because if it's not, you want to change them out, and also change them out by pair. Do not change one and not change the other, because otherwise they'll be out of balance. And now you will put back the drum. And also you'll be putting back the belt at this time. I'm trying to see if I can get the camera back in there to show you how to put back this this belt here. So guys, I'm trying to get my camera in there to try to film how to install this belt, but unfortunately there's no room for my camera phone to go in there, so I'm just gonna have to do it like this. And, if I get a chance, I will make a separate video of how to put these belt into the motor and to the pulley to get tension. So once the belt is installed, you want to test it and roll the drum right now and see if it moves free or the belt will pop out. If it popped out, that means you have to install this incorrectly. So mine, it did not, so this is good. And now you get this piece right back in here. And again, lift. And there's a two roller in the front. In order to get this in easily, you will rotate the drum and give it a little push here, and it will just roll right in. And then you lift. And then you also come here and you lift. And then remember to hook back the harness. And oops, I forgot to clean the front a little. Now I gotta get the vacuum here. Let's clean this out a little. Now we're going to go ahead and put back all the screw. Remember, there was 10 screw that comes out of here. So now at this stage, you want to hook these wires into these tabs now and keep them in check. And this is the light switch, the light. Back inside. So I will go ahead and do the top first, because it's easier when you do on the top. You want to do either side, whatever side you like, you do that side first. And then you align this on the left side. Keep in mind, always put glove on at this stage, because everything is so sharp here. If you don't have it, you will get cut here in 2 seconds. It will be helpful if you get some magnetic tip screwdriver here, so you can free your other hand, because you have to keep a pressure down to have this thing put back in. at the plastic now, I turn down the torque. The rest is metal, so I have to torque up to 10. But when you're working with against plastic, make sure lower the torque on your drill gun. You don't want to be stripping off all those plastic there. Then one last screw going to the top. So remember, the panel, take it out, has to come in an angle. And then always remember, there's a door lock switches here, they have to be connected back. And you put back the 4 screw that hold the front panel in place. And then there's 2 in the front. Now you will want to align those wire harness here into the back clip. Now you would take the control panel, you want to hook up the harness first before you put them back in. Hear that smack? Those are all perfectly normal. At this current stage now, you do want to plug back into the dryer, because you want to test it now before you put the top panel back on. So now you will power the unit up and you hit start. You see how nice and quiet it sounds now compared to when it first started? So this is a big difference. So now when this is doing it, you let it run while the unit is start testing. You go ahead and slide back up the top panel. And then you will go ahead and put back the last 2 screws that you got from the back, and then you have completed the repair. And again, this video is only for demonstrated purposes. Do not try this at home if you're not a certified technician or whatnot, because you will get hurt from trying to repair these washer and dryer. And again, thanks for watching.